I play every hole as a par 5.
There you go.
So if I par every hole, I shoot at 90.
Yeah, baby.
So when I'm walking around the club, they say, "Coach, what'd you shoot?" I said, "I was 300 today." And they go, "God dang, man." They don't know it's at 87. Well, let's kick their ass, man.
Let's do it.
I mean, let's just kick the shit out of these guys.
Come on.
You call him Coach? Coach Jon
Yeah,
Gruden?
coach. Show some respect, Frank.
I now think Stefanski is going to get let go. Here's why. It's not this tweet. Do you have the tweet that says Andrew Berry will be in on the decision making?
Yep.
So here's what y'all got to pay attention to. Who y'all think drafted Shedeur? The man on the right, Bam, or the man on the left who didn't really want to play Shedeur? Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry, the general manager. If Andrew Berry's going to be very involved in Stefanski being there or not, Stefanski not going to be there.
Although plenty of people thought this entire situation would stay buried, that silence just got shattered in a big way. Former NFL coach Jon Gruden didn't just whisper his opinion, he kicked the door wide open and put Cleveland back under the spotlight fast. Gruden stepping back into the conversation wasn't subtle, and it definitely wasn't accidental. He made it clear he wants back in the league, and at the same time, he indirectly cracked open a conversation Cleveland has tried to avoid for months. And right in the middle of it all sits Shedeur Sanders, finally staring at what feels like a real opportunity after being forced to wait far longer than anyone expected. For too long, Shedeur Sanders has been stuck in neutral, while doubts, outside noise, and unnecessary side drama swirled nonstop. Instead of clarity, the situation around him became louder, messier, and more uncomfortable. Now that Gruden is speaking publicly, the pressure in Cleveland has gone from simmering to boiling over.
So right now, Kevin Stefanski name coming up for other jobs like OC jobs. He know he done. He ain't no shaking this, ain't no if and buts about it. Kevin is up out of there. And me personally, I feel like we won't see Shedeur. I'm just starting to feel that way. I think it's 7 to 8 games left or something like that. Don't hold me on that. If they lose this one, they have to play Shedeur. Really, them losing to the Jets, they should have been playing Shedeur this upcoming week. No question about it. The Jets was the worst team in all of the NFL. They should have been playing Shedeur Sanders this week against the
People close to the team are starting to notice the cracks spreading fast. The leadership path for Shedeur Sanders keeps getting blocked, while confusion continues to take over upstairs. Fans can feel it, players can sense it, and the locker room energy doesn't lie. When belief starts slipping, teams don't just lose games, they lose identity. This isn't just bad coaching vibes or a rough patch anymore. This is what a team drifting without a clear direction looks like in real time, and everybody watching knows it. The uncertainty is visible, the hesitation is obvious, and the lack of alignment is loud even without anyone saying it outright. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback many believe could flip this entire franchise, is still forced to watch from the sidelines. That part doesn't sit right with fans who've watched Cleveland search endlessly for stability under center.
At that point, the game is tied 17-17, and you're unhappy with that.
I'm unhappy because he took a sack that could have caused them not to tie it. Like this, they're lucky that they got that off.
Come on, you guys. You're sounding ridiculous, Nick. Come on. He's a third-round rookie, and it's playing his 5th game of his life in the NFL. And you're quibbling that he was lucky to get.
Watching potential sit unused while the team spins its wheels feels reckless, not patient. Especially after Shedeur showed legitimate flashes in preseason and practice reps. The poise, the footwork, the command, it was all there. It's hard to justify brushing aside a young quarterback who's shown discipline, preparation, and hunger while the offense looks drained and directionless week after week. Shedeur Sanders has already shown the tools to be Cleveland's future under center. The arm talent, the mental calm, the leadership presence, it's on film. What continues to drag everything down isn't ability. It's the refusal to give him a fair and honest look when the moment calls for it. The focus inside the building doesn't even feel centered on winning anymore. From the outside, it looks like job protection has taken priority over football decisions. Fans feel it, players feel it, and voices outside the organization are calling it out louder by the day. That's not random noise. That's pressure building from every direction. Things escalated fast after a recent post lit up the football world and put Shedeur Sanders squarely in the spotlight. This wasn't casual praise or polite optimism. It was a bold statement suggesting that Shedeur could change everything if given real control. And that's a direct challenge to the current direction in Cleveland. So now the questions won't go away. What's really holding Shedeur Sanders back?
Don't make sense. And Tony brought this up a couple weeks ago.
He's never been like this.
Once your coach starts not making sense, that's the beginning of the end. I don't know what Kevin's doing. This is a side of Kevin I've never seen.
Already his name's coming out for other jobs.
There you go. If I didn't know better, I think he's going like, you know what? I'm going to go down the way I go down. If they get rid of me, they can get rid of me. I think he's probably had enough here. I do.
Did he get a contract?
I'm not last year.
Yes.
Last year.
Tony.
You're going to get paid. Going to get paid. I don't think it's about the money with Kevin.
No, but you have security.
I think
you have the security now.
I think he's finally.
How much longer can Cleveland afford to wait while momentum keeps slipping away? Every delay adds weight, and every unanswered question makes the situation harder to ignore. And then came the move that sent shockwaves through the fan base. Despite the growing noise and rising pressure for Shedeur Sanders to step up, the staff doubled down and locked in their current decision at quarterback. That choice didn't calm anything down. It poured gasoline on the frustration. Coaches, analysts, and fans were left shaking their heads. It's rare to see leadership dig in this hard while warning signs flash everywhere. The refusal to even test Shedeur Sanders feels less like patience and more like a line drawn in concrete. Now, the real question can't be dodged anymore. Is this about winning football games? Or is it about protecting pride and avoiding tough decisions around the league? That tension is hanging over every snap and every press conference. The reaction hasn't slowed down for a second. Insiders are openly questioning the stubbornness, wondering how long Cleveland can bleed momentum while sticking to choices many see as outdated and ineffective. Every game without Shedeur Sanders under center feels like another step backward. Fans keep asking it, analysts keep circling it.
You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people gotta say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like, it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us.
And the silence keeps making it louder. Is holding Shedeur Sanders back costing the Browns wins and respect? And how long can leadership ignore the obvious before the damage becomes permanent? What's most alarming is the lack of clarity. No real explanation, no transparency, just silence. Why won't they even consider the quarterback who's shown calm control and real upside? Is this fear of change, or holding on to the past for far too long? Even moments that should have sparked confidence did the opposite. When the game was tied 17-17, that should have been a turning point. Instead, it exposed just how fragile the offense really is, and why the pressure around this decision keeps growing louder by the week. Finally, it showed up on the app, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. That sack at the most critical moment nearly blew the entire opportunity wide open, and everyone watching knew it instantly. That wasn't bad luck or bad timing. That was poor judgment under pressure, plain and simple. The defense and a little bit of fortune ended up bailing the team out, but let's be real, luck isn't a game plan and it never has been. You can't build consistency on hoping things break your way. Even Shedeur Sanders rushed to defend the situation, calling the criticism unfair and reminding people that development takes time. But here's the issue. That explanation doesn't quiet the concern, it actually makes it louder. Cleveland isn't pushing forward, they're settling and fans can feel it. While that happens, steady talent continues to get ignored. The consistency that Shedeur Sanders brings, the calm presence, the repeatable decision-making, it keeps getting overlooked without a real explanation. The question fans keep asking is simple. If Shedeur had those same opportunities, would those mistakes even happen? And the truth is, nobody knows, because he hasn't been given the chance. Instead, errors get brushed aside, softened, and excused.
He playing Shedeur Sanders. Now let's pull up this Jon Gruden post, man. So this is the post right here that is making headlines. That is former NFL coach Jon Gruden said, I could turn that thing around, that entire franchise around with Shedeur Sanders. And guys, the people have spoken. Somebody said he was proud to spew. No, we're going to skip past that. We're going to skip that comment. But I'm telling you right now, Shedeur Sanders is the guy, bro.
Meanwhile, quiet consistency gets treated like it doesn't exist. The defense of these decisions doesn't sound like real football breakdown anymore. It sounds like blind loyalty, and fans aren't buying it. They're tired of hearing the loudest voices miss what's right in front of them. What's obvious is this: Cleveland deserves more than luck and soft explanations. They need a quarterback who steps up without hesitation and without second-guessing the moment. When leadership starts leaning on excuses instead of answers, that's usually the first warning sign that something deeper is cracking fast. Recent moves have people questioning everything about the direction at the top. When decisions stop adding up on the field, it rarely stays contained there. It bleeds into confidence, preparation, and belief. That's how seasons slip away without anyone admitting what's really wrong. What makes it even harder to ignore is the refusal to give Shedeur Sanders a real shot while continuing to stand firm behind shaky performances. That contrast is loud. Fans and insiders are confused, frustrated, and openly fed up. It doesn't feel like patience, it feels like avoidance. What makes things worse is seeing names tied to outside job rumors floating around at the same time. That doesn't signal long-term commitment. It feels like someone already halfway out the door, and teams can sense that energy immediately. This doesn't look like leadership fighting for every edge anymore. It looks like riding things out and hoping the noise fades. That's not how winning organizations operate, and Cleveland fans know it. If the franchise decides to move in a different direction, nobody would be shocked. The stubborn energy on display sends a clear message that fixing the problem isn't the priority anymore.
But first, we got to jump into the hottest story of the day. That is former NFL coach Jon Gruden. Well, Jon Gruden went on record and said that he would like to coach in New York.
That don't make sense. And Tony brought this up a couple weeks ago. Once your coach starts not making sense, that's the beginning of the end. I don't know what Kevin's doing. This is a side of Kevin I've never seen.
Already his name's coming out for other jobs.
He is.
Kevin Stefanski is going to sink the ship. He don't give a damn about the team. He know he getting fired.
When pride starts leading decisions, progress stalls fast. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders stays ready, focused, and patient. He's preparing like his moment could come at any snap, even though the door keeps getting blocked. That contrast couldn't be louder if it tried. One side is stuck defending decisions, the other is waiting to prove something on the field. This isn't about contracts or money or outside noise. This is frustration showing up directly in performance. The missed chances, the stalled drives, the lack of spark, it all connects. Shedeur Sanders represents the future and the energy Cleveland has been searching for. But the refusal to adapt and adjust is holding everything back. If winning truly mattered above all else, pride would have been set aside already. And now Shedeur Sanders' future in Cleveland looks like it's slipping fast, and the warning signs are everywhere. Reports suggest the energy around leadership has changed, and it no longer feels like there's a real push to fix what's broken. That shift matters because when urgency disappears, seasons fall apart quickly. The ongoing defense of shaky quarterback decisions doesn't sound like honest football analysis anymore. It comes off like blind loyalty, and fans are exhausted by it. People are asking the same question over and over. Why do the loudest voices in the room keep missing what's right in front of them? Cleveland deserves more than excuses and lucky breaks. They deserve a quarterback who leads without hesitation in decisions that actually match what's happening on the field. Recent behavior has fans questioning leadership at the top and wondering how long this run can last when choices stop making sense. That's usually the clearest sign that things are cracking fast. The refusal to give Shedeur Sanders a real opportunity while continuing to stand behind uneven results has fans and insiders shaking their heads in disbelief. The contrast is too obvious to ignore now. When patience turns into stubbornness, progress stops cold. Then there's the noise about other job possibilities floating around, and that only deepens the frustration. It doesn't signal commitment. It feels like someone already preparing for the exit instead of fighting for the room they're responsible for. That energy spreads fast inside a building.
Our National Football League, and that is Cleveland's own Kevin Stefanski. Now, Kevin Stefanski is vowing to all of Cleveland Dog Pound Nation that he will not be playing Shedeur Sanders. He will remain keeping Dylan Gabriel as the starting quarterback. Now, we all know people from land to land, coast to coast, is pissed off with this news, bro, because he wrapped up a press conference today, and he stated once again he will not.
This doesn't look like leadership battling for every edge anymore. It looks like someone bracing for impact and hoping the noise dies down. Teams don't win that way, and fans know it when they see it. If Cleveland decides to move on, nobody would be shocked at this point. The stubborn tone sends a clear message that fixing the real problem isn't the priority anymore. When pride starts driving decisions, results suffer every single time. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders stays locked in, patient, and ready. He's preparing like his opportunity could come tomorrow, even though the door keeps getting blocked. That contrast is loud and impossible to ignore. One side is defending the past, the other is focused on the future. This isn't about money, contracts, or outside distractions. It's about frustration showing up directly in performance. The stalled drives, the missed moments, the lack of spark. It all connects back to hesitation at the top. Shedeur Sanders represents the future, and the hope Cleveland has been craving for years. He brings energy, calm, and confidence that can reset the tone of an entire locker room. But refusal to adapt is holding everything back, and time isn't slowing down for anyone. Pride keeps getting in the way of progress, and that's the hardest part for fans to watch. They don't want drama. They don't want excuses. They just want to see the Browns win. And with every week that passes, that window feels like it's closing faster than anyone wants to admit.